Welcome back. I'm Jack Bradley. President Trump may exempt Hungary from sanctions on buying Russian oil. To discuss the impacts, we welcome on retired Major General William Crane from the West Virginia National Guard. General Crane, thank you so much for joining us. Now, President Trump said that he may consider exempting Hungary from the sanctions on Russian oil. That's because Trump says Hungary is geographically reliant on that oil. Here's Trump earlier today.
We're looking at it because it's very difficult for him to get the oil and gas from other areas. As you know, they don't have the advantage of having sea. It's a great country. It's a big country, but they don't have sea. They don't have the ports. But when you look at what's happened with Europe, many of those countries, they don't have those problems, and they buy a lot of oil and gas from Russia.
General Crane, do you think that Trump should exempt Hungary from Russian oil sanctions?
Well, Jack, I don't really work for the administration. I don't get to give him advice, but certainly I understand what he's saying. Hungary is a landlocked country, and it makes it very challenging. A lot of the infrastructure was set up for Europe, all of Europe, to get their natural gas from Russia. And so that continues to be an issue that Hungary has to deal with. And so certainly, I think it's vital for him to take a look at that, and I know he'll make the right decision based on the strategic needs of America.
And General Crane, Trump and Orban were set to discuss at the White House energy, trade, and the war in Ukraine behind closed doors. What's the significance of Hungary as an ally to the U.S.?
Well, Jack, they're really critical. They are one of the members of NATO, critical member. They're very far on the eastern flank, or right next to Ukraine. So they give a lot of strategic time and space for the rest of NATO. There's a lot of logistical opportunities for military logistics to flow through Hungary. It also provides a place where you can get good intelligence from in Ukraine and also into the Black Sea region, the Balkans. So it's in a really critical area for national security for not only NATO and Europe, but also for America to understand, the United States to understand what is going on in that part of the world.
Mm-hmm. I want to move on to rare earths now. According to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, a new rare earths processing center over in South Carolina has just produced the first magnet made in the U.S. in 25 years. Bessent says that this will break China's chokehold on the industry. Why is this a national security concern at this point?
Well, I've been working with the Responsible Battery Coalition, and this is one of those critical areas. The rare earth elements, the critical minerals, most of that processing currently is done in China. And so even if we mine it, if it's mined in other places in the world, those elements are sent to China for them to be processed and then sent back out. So we've got to continue to work to break that stranglehold that China has on that. Antimony is a critical element or critical mineral that we need for weapons and technology and batteries also. And back in December, China stopped the flow of antimony into the United States. So they've shown on a few occasions that they're willing to use those processing and stop the shipments as a means to get their way on the world stage. And so we have to really start onshoring some of that processing. We have to onshore some of that or friendshore some of those critical minerals as well. We just have to be able to make sure that we have what we need to continue to have the national security, the materials that we need for our national defense, and that we can't allow an adversary or somebody else to control that. And so, again, we've got to bring, we used to lead the world in rare earth element processing, and we need to get back to doing that processing again.
That's really interesting that how China took over that industry over the last couple decades. And when they shut down that export of those rare earths, it was even cause enough for the administration to even talk about not just de-risking from China, but disengaging from their economy, the whole world disengaging from them. And it looks to be headed in that direction. What will be the impact on the U.S. military and tech manufacturing for these rare earths to be processed by the U.S. and U.S. allies rather than China?
Well, again, we have to control our supply lines. Back during the COVID, we had a real, in West Virginia, we felt the impacts of all of the manufacturing being done in China. We couldn't get masks and gowns and all of that kind of stuff. And so, there's a lot of areas that we as a country and other countries need to make sure that they can manufacture and process themselves so that they can take care of their population and their national security needs. And this is just another example that we have of where we have to bring manufacturing back. And I think that President Trump has done a great job in trying to bring manufacturing back. He's been all over the world signing agreements to bring other countries into getting critical minerals and rare earth element processing. But I'm really proud of the fact that we are bringing some of that manufacturing back. It is absolutely critical to our national security. And I think we've just got to keep our eyes on the ball and make sure that they don't do some dumping and cut the price to where our manufacturing go back out of business. So we've got to keep that manufacturing here. We've got to set some floors on pricing.
We'll keep our eyes on that. General Crane, thank you very much for your insights. Really appreciate it.